guys, another week, episode 5. I won't make a lot of predictions as to what I'm gonna do. I will just try to get on with it. I'm gonna try and make the looms for the cabling for the solar and all of the rear part of the cupboard, and I will replace the 35mm cable, the red one, the big chunky red one that I was working on from the front seat to the rear cabinet. I'm gonna replace it with a new cable because I don't trust that red cable. I had problems trying to crimp a terminal onto it, so I got this welding cable which should be better quality. It is, I am sure it is better quality than the one I've got there. So it's black, so I'll just identify it with some red heat shrink, and that's it. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. After lunch summary, I have replaced the 35mm cable that I meant to replace. I've already crimped the terminal on the end. You will have seen that. Just pushed it back to size to perfectly be the right length to fit on the bus bar. And now what I am going to do, it's right here, so I am going to try and fit this and see if this is not in the way. Fit this cover, this plastic cowl, see if nothing is in the way here, and if that's okay, then I'm gonna start putting this together. I still haven't decided about the DC charger. Once I have the frame in place, the seat frame, I will make that decision, see what space I have left. If not, I might have to do a modification that I will discuss later. So for now, that's it. I've replaced this cable. It's tidy, it's done, it's ready. Put this back on, see, hopefully it fits, nothing is in the way, and then start putting this back together. Hopefully I don't run into any issues there either, and then I can start making the looms, the loom for the solar charger, the lighting inside, and the water tank to connect to the fuse panel you will have seen me put in place. So let's carry on. hey, here we are, another weekend done. Slow but progress. I put the seat belt cover back on. The wires didn't get in the way. It's all good there. I put the seat frame back on. I did have I put just a couple of washers in each of the mounts for the seat frame, just to raise it up ever so slightly because of the cables going on that side. It seemed like it wouldn't settle quite right, so the couple of washers fixed that. Handbrake in place. I mocked it up. I spent a lot of time figuring out what each of these factory positive cables were, and I put a battery in to start marking things up. I'm figuring out the way I'm gonna run the connections here, because sadly I was optimistic, but I don't think this is gonna fit under there. That's why I left this reserve cable, so I can run it to the back and put this somewhere else. The problem is space is at a premium in this van, so there is not a lot of space to put this. Maybe by the solar charger, but that pretty much renders that shelf, that top shelf, useless if this is in there. But it might be a good possibility, and it's not bad that they're one next to the other. The other possibility that I had considered is this trim piece. This is actually an extra that I got off of eBay maybe a year ago or two, because of this very situation. My plan was, if I couldn't fit this under the seat, maybe modify this, because I kept the original one. I'm not going to damage that one. Modify this one somehow and just mount this externally on the rear of the seat frame. And maybe then, ideally, maybe a copy of this out of fiberglass. Use this as a template, as a mold, but modified to fit this inside it. That could be aesthetically, it's never going to be beautiful, but could maybe be better than just having this completely visible and accessible. Not that that's a bad thing, because these things do heat up, so ventilation is good. I might even add some fans to this, because I've heard that these heat up quite a lot. But again, I'm still thinking if I'm gonna just modify this piece to allow for this, even if it's temporary, I don't know, or just put this in the rear cabinet next to the solar charger. So that's what I've got to figure out. I've run the Ethernet cable to the back. I've mocked up the fuse panel to fix the length of the positive cable there. So here it's just finishing touches here. Just crimp a couple of wires, cut them to length. Oh, I do have to design a new box for the cutoff. I will be having a cutoff under the seat, accessible through the front, where I had it previously, but I'm gonna modify the design slightly to allow for a fuse and just better and easier connection of all the wires that I need to do. You'll see that at some point. But yeah, slowly getting there. I'm starting to see a way out of this, which is good, but still a lot of work to do. And now I do have like the main point now, which will determine where and from I have to run more wires, is where I put this. So I have to think long and hard on that one. And yeah, not much else to say. I will be trying to move things along during the week, just designing the 3D parts that I need to design, thinking about this, and not much else. And then next weekend, crack on again and see how much I can do then. So, see you next week.